This is Franky Rose's Think Tank. Here's your host, Franky Rose.
Hey friends, welcome to the Think Tank. Well, happy December 6th, and today I'm going to talk about the Polytechnique massacre or the Montreal massacre. This happened back in December 6th, 1989 in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. In this attack, 14 women were deleted. 10 women and 4 men were injured. So the fellow that did this, his name was Marc Lepine. And he showed up with a Ruger Mini 14 semi-automatic and a pointy hunting weapon. He went into the mechanical engineering room at Polytech. He told the women to go to one side of the classroom, and he told the men to leave the room. After saying that he was fighting feminism, he aimed at all 9 women in the room, and he deleted 6 of them. He then went through the hallway to the cafeteria and into another classroom, only targeting women. It lasted under 20 minutes. He himself deleted 8 more women before deleting himself. So the total 14 women deleted and 14 others were hurt. The attack was the largest mass deleting in Canada until the attacks in Nova Scotia back in 2020. So that's more than 30 years between the two. A little after 4 p.m. on December 6th, 1989, Marc Lepine got into Polytech. He had a Ruger Mini 14 and a sharp hunting tool that he had purchased. The Ruger had been purchased less than a month before the November 21st in a Checkmate sports store in Montreal. He had been in and around that building at least 7 times in the weeks leading to the December 6th attack. It seemed like he was literally stalking his prey. The building itself is about 6 stories high with lots of windows and a large main entrance. Lepine first sat in the registrar's office when he got there on the 2nd floor, where he then seemed to be going through a plastic bag. He didn't talk to anyone, even when a staff member asked if she could help him. All he did was then leave the office, and they seen him in other parts of the building before entering that 2nd floor mechanical engineering class of about 60 students. That time was about 5:10 p.m. He asked everyone to stop what they were doing and told the women and the men to move to opposite sides of the classroom. No one moved at first. They were just thinking that this has got to be a joke. But he shot off into the ceiling, and that smartened them up into, oh, this is real. So Lepine at the time separated 9 women from roughly 50 men, told the men to leave. Lepine asked the women if they knew why they were there. But one of the students asked him who he was. He responded by saying that he was fighting feminism. Natalie Provost told him that they were women studying engineering, not feminists fighting against men to prove that they were better. He then just started eliminating the students from left to right, deleting 6 women in seconds. Helene, Colgan, Natalie, Crotu, Barbara Dagnall, Anna Marie LeMay, Sonia Pelletier, and Annie St. Arnaud. He also wounded 3 others before he left that room. And he, for whatever reason, wrote the word shit twice on one of the students' projects. Kind of random. So Lepine then went to the 2nd floor and wounded 3 students before going into another room where he tried twice to get a female student when his weapon failed. He went into the emergency staircase where he was seen reloading. He returned to the room that he had just left, but the students had locked the door. Smart thinking. So he tried 3 shots into the door. Moving down the hallway, he aimed at more people, wounding 1 before heading into the financial services office, which is where he deleted Marcy Langier through the window of the door she had just locked. Brutal. The 3rd floor classroom in Polytech is where the attack ended. But Lepine next went to the 1st floor cafeteria where about 100 people were. He got nursing student Barbara Marie Kluznik near the kitchen and wounded another student. He then went into an unlocked storage area at the back of the cafeteria. Lepine got and deleted Anne-Marie Edward and Genevieve Bergeon, who were hiding in there. He told a male and female student to come out from under a table. They did as they were told, and he didn't attack them. Lepine then wound up on the 3rd floor, where he'd gotten wounded 1 female and 2 male students in the hallway. He went to another classroom and told the men to get out. He then wounded Marcy Leclerc, who was giving a presentation. He got students in the front row, then deleted Maud Havernick and Michelle Richard, who were trying to escape the room. Lepine aimed at some female students, injuring 3 of them and deleting Annie Turcott. Lepine changed the magazine in his weapon, brutal, and went to the front of the class, started aiming in all directions. Then the wounded Marcy Leclerc asked for help. He responded by unsheathing his hunting weapon and deleting her. He took off his hat, wrapped his coat around the weapon and said, "Oh shit," and then deleted himself only 20 minutes after the attack. There was about 60 unfired cartridges in the boxes that he had carried with him. After briefing reporters outside, Montreal Police Director of Public Relationships, Pierre Leclerc, went into the building and found his own daughter, Marcy's body. Oh, that's haunting. The Quebec and Montreal governments declared 3 days of mourning. A joint funeral for 9 of the women was held at Notre Dame Balika? I'm not sure how to, Balisa? I'll get corrected. On December 11th, 1989, and was attended by Governor General Jean Sauve, Prime Minister Brian Mulroney, Quebec Premier Robert Bourassa, and Montreal Mayor Jean Jor, along with thousands of other mourners. So in a park, 14 coffin-like benches made from pink stone and are set in a circle. A higher slanted pink panel is visible in the foreground. So he deleted 14 women, 12 of which were engineering students, one was a nursing student, and one was an employee of the university. He also injured 14 others, 10 women and 4 men. So Genevieve Bergeon, born in 1968, was a civil engineering student. Hélène Goljan, I think it's pronounced, born 1966, mechanical engineering student. Natalie Groch, born in 1966, mechanical engineering student. Barbara, I think it's Desjanout, born in 1960. I'm not good with French, guys, as you can probably tell. Born in 1967, was a mechanical engineering student. Annie Marie Edward, born 1968, chemical engineering student. Maud Havernick, born 1960, materials engineering student. Marcy Lagenier, born 1964, budget clerk in the Polytechnique's financial department. Marcy Leclerc, born 1966, a materials engineering student. Anne Marie Lemay, born in 1967, mechanical engineering student. Sonia Pelletier, born in 1961, mechanical engineering student. Michelle Richard, born 1968. Michael, I do believe, Richard, born in 1968, materials engineering student. Anne Saint Arnauld, born in 1966, mechanical engineering student. Annie Turcott, born 1969, materials engineering student. Barbara Klusnick Wiedejukes, I don't know, Jukes, born 1958, was a nursing student. And then we got him, Marc Lepine. He was Garby, Gharbi, and was born to a French-Canadian mother and an Algerian father. His father was a mutual funds salesman, and I guess in his opinion, women were nowhere near equal to men. So he was both physically and verbally abusive to both his wife and his son. He even discouraged any kind of tenderness between the mother and son. When Gamil was 7, his parents separated. His father stopped contacting his children pretty soon after. His mother had to return to nursing to support the family. And because of her schedule, the kids had to live with other families during the week. At the age of 14, Gamil changed his name to Marc Lepine, saying that he hated his father and that was the reason for taking his mother's last name. Lepine attempted to join the Canadian Army in the winter of 1980 through 81, but according to his letter, he was rejected because he was antisocial. The brief description of Lepine that police released the day of the deletings described him as intelligent but troubled. He had a big dislike for feminists, career women, and women in traditionally male occupations such as the police force. He begun his pre-university CEGEP, a college program in pure sciences, in 1982, but switched to a 3-year vocational program in electronics technology after his first year. He quit this program in his final semester without explanation. Lepine applied to Polytechnique in 1986 and then again in 1989, but he needed 2 more courses before he could get admission. He completed one of them in 1989. Okay, hydration. Sorry, friends. Isn't this unreal? This place, this uni, is massive, as you can tell from the pictures that I'm showing you. It was huge. It was literally, when this happened, we'd never heard of such a thing. This just didn't happen. And 30 years later, we had another mass shooting. And you know, I see so much of this covering the US. And as you can see, we don't deal with it as often. I mean, we do deal with it, but not as often. And, you know, I don't understand how these people are not really noticed to have some kind of clink. Like, are you kidding me? It's just the most disturbing thing ever. So, okay, I'll stop complaining, but oh my God. Okay. So yeah, we do deal with it. It's just, are you kidding me? Like I said in a different video, I will never understand it. And I don't want to. I don't want to understand how a person would ever get to this. I don't want to be in that head. That's a scary, dark place. I'll pass on. Okay, so on the day of the massacre, Lepine wrote 3 letters. 2 were sent to friends, and 1 was on the inside pocket of his jacket. Some details from the letters were released by the police after the tragedy, but full letters were not put out publicly. A year after the attacks, a 3-page statement was leaked, as that happens, as they do. Leaked to journalists and feminist Francine Pelletier. It contained a list of 19 Quebec women that Lepine apparently wished to delete because he considered them feminists. The list included Pelletier herself, as well as a politician, a TV personality, and 6 cops who he had come to know because they were on the same volleyball team. Oh my God, man. The letters, without the list of the women, was published in the newspaper La Presse, where Pelletier was a columnist. Lepine wrote that he considered himself rational and that he blamed feminists for ruining his life. He said the reasons for the attack included his anger towards the feminists for seeking social change that retain the advantage of being women while trying to grab those of the men. What a warped world that man lived in. He also wrote about Dennis Lort, a Canadian Armed Forces corporal who deleted 3 government employees and wounded 13 others in an armed attack on the National Assembly of Quebec on May 8th, 1984. In the end, it was determined that self-deleting while deleting women was Lepine's motivator. That was his motivation behind this attack. He just figured, don't like them, gonna do it to myself anyways. Why not take some of them with me? Such a twisted mind. Unreal. So, guys, on that, happy December 6th. I hope you guys are all ready for Christmas. I'm far from it, but I will squeeze in some time here this week to get some more stuff done. So again, guys, thank you ever so much for being here with me. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.